Welcome to the 245 podcast, where that is the number of all-you-can-drink cups of chocolate milk I had at the state fair.
That's a lot of milk.
Fact check, not true.
That is totally true. $2 got me a long way.
Any witnesses?
My family, and they're not here, so that's too bad. Anyways, welcome to the 245 podcast. Welcome. This is the first episode of our 4-part series about our time in high school together. So we went to high school together, and today we have a couple special guests who went to high school with us as well. We have with me here in the podcast studio, Mitchell Pfeiffer.
Heyo.
Mitch was went to our school since kindergarten. So he's been
OG.
He was there a long time.
I'm a veteran.
And in the podcast studio with us too, we have Evan Olstad.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Evan? How's it going today?
It's going good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about our high school years. We're starting with freshman year this episode, and we're just going to go up the next 3 episodes, sophomore, junior, and senior year. So we're going to do that. But before we came here today, there was a little incident. Mitch, you want to talk about that with us and process that with us?
A little incident happened. So I get back from a birthday party for Joey. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
Congratulations on reaching 20.
Thank you.
So I get back, and I'm about to leave to get here to the Mel, and I notice my bike's gone. So it's stolen. But I have talked with Public Safety Peter, and that's getting sorted through right now. So right now I have no transportation but my legs.
That's
So
pain.
it kind of sucks.
Bummer.
But Mitch, you want to tell them why it got stolen?
I think we just
and how
that
and
part.
what you could have done to easily prevent it?
I could have bike locked it.
Because isn't your lock sitting right
that's
there?
usually
Yeah.
what you tend to do when you don't want it stolen.
True. But I've been using my bike so much, like locking it every time I would park it is just kind of annoying, and I figured I was in a safe enough area where that wasn't going to happen. But if I got my bike back, now I know.
Lock it. Lock your
Learned
bike.
your lesson.
Overnight.
Pizza will figure it out.
Yeah, he'll track down the guy.
Can you tell me a little bit about Public Safety Pete?
Well, Peter Skoglund came over, and he's on my soccer team, so that's nice because friendly face to talk to, and he knows what my bike looks like. It's a blue Fuji bike, got a fanny pack on it. So,
Pretty
Yes.
recognizable.
So if you see anyone riding around in the Twin Cities, feel free to email us so we can.
Blue bike, probably a mellow yellow in the water bottle holder.
there isn't.
There's no
No mellow yellow in the water
I've
bottle
come
holder.
home a couple times to pop in the water bottle holder. Like, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, Mitch, why did you just leave your mellow yellow in your water bottle holder?
I often forget about it there.
Mitch,
then I
they
go over
call
to the
it
stud,
a
and then
water
it's there.
bottle holder for a reason, not a pop bottle holder.
Well, the pop
It's for
fits
water.
nice, I'll have you know. So,
It's a morning
It works.
snack when you
When you come
take to
back.
class.
Well, I'm sorry, Mitch, but
okay.
I hope you learned your lesson of why bike locks exist.
Yep.
Well, they don't always seem to work, and that doesn't always seem to stop them, because a few years ago at Target, you guys know this, but my bike was stolen. It was sitting there during my shift. I had it locked up and everything, and some guy just came along with some big pair of shears and just cut it
Snip.
right off.
Flip that thing.
And it was gone. I had to buy a new bike, and I stopped biking to Target from then on because I didn't want to get my new bike all stolen. Target's sketchy.
all stolen.
Especially that
Stolen
Minneapolis
to just
Target.
half
All of
stolen.
it.
Steal all the bike, but like one tire.
Just be like,
Leave
oh,
the
I
front
feel
tire."
bad taking this bike. I might as well just leave this tire.
I'm going to ride a unicycle instead.
Leave like one spoke.
I'm trying to think of a segue from like going to a bike into freshman year.
Speaking of bikes, we went to school together.
Epic segue.
Speaking of bikes, we cycled through high school together.
Oh, man. Wow. That's a good
That
one.
was pretty good.
I guess let's just start with we're talking about freshman year, right? When you think of our freshman year, at then Kelvin Christian High School, what is one word that comes to your mind?
Oh.
Joey, go.
Oof. One word. I don't think I can give it a word. I'll give it a rating. It was like a 6 out of 10.
That's not what he assigned you to do, Joey.
No.
Joey,
give a word.
rating is not at all even equivalent to a word.
Yeah,
Like,
come on.
that's not a substitute.
It was
Think
a
of
long.
word.
It was a long time. That was 5 years ago.
Use your
And-
brain.
All
You
right,
have a memory.
I'll go first. I'll give Joey some
let's
time.
go.
to think.
Okay.
All right, the word I got is a vibe. You know, it's just a vibe.
Okay.
right.
Can we get more mad at Evan? Evan gave 2 words.
All right, I'll
Evan-
shorten
Word
it.
in a
I'll
letter.
shorten
Evan,
it.
I really liked
Vibe.
Evan, I really liked your descriptor. Thank you.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. It was super chill and just I thought the school was like pretty like way easier than 8th grade almost. Like it just seemed
Oh,
Actually,
like schoolwork.
I agree with
seemed
that.
way
I was
easier.
homeschooled, and I thought that 9th grade was easier than 8th grade.
That was gonna be my word. Was easy, but
Oh
I guess I
my
won't say-
flex.
I have a word.
What? It wasn't easy for you.
No, I struggled a lot. No, I'm just kidding. It was,
you
it was, it was
No,
pretty
you
easy.
didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a word.
Okay, go.
Teen.
Oh,
Because we were teenagers, but also Mr. Teen.
that's a trump card right there.
Mike, that was really good. Good word.
Thank you. I actually didn't think
Joey-
of the fact that we were teenagers until after I said it, so I'm really proud of myself.
That was on the fly, quick thinking. Good job.
Thank you.
Joey, you ready to redeem yourself?
Yeah, I'll use the word solid. Like a 6 out of 10 solid.
You just can't avoid that
He's
rating.
Addicted to the 6 out of 10.
No, ratings are such a good way to describe
Shut up.
things.
That's not what Josh asked you to do.
Josh, hit us with a word.
My word was going to be energetic.
Oh,
And I just feel like freshman year, we were like still pretty immature. And it was just, like Evan said, it was just chill. And we were doing silly stuff, having tons of fun. And we just had like energy and did crazy things.
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah, that's my word.
Well, we gotta hold on. We gotta pause for 1 second here. Was freshman year the first year we did podcasts with Mr. Teen?
no, that was sophomore year.
That was sophomore year.
sophomore.
Okay, never mind.
We'll talk about that next episode.
Okay, sounds good.
That's going to be a
Time on
main.
Dragon Balls.
That was
Yeah,
that was like a catalyst for 245,
yeah.
Mr. Teen.
It was. It really was. Little did we know.
Little did we know.
Little did we know.
So yeah, Mr. Teen taught, it was history, right? That was a really fun class, like for being freshmen, because like he like partially didn't care, but I think he liked us, even though he got mad at us
He
a couple
did.
times.
Like beginning of the year, it's just like getting to know our class. But then, like once he realized how legendary our class was, he kind of rolled with it.
Yeah. Hey, okay. This is actually a good transition into this list of stuff because when Mike sent out a list and was like, write down memories you have, I could come up with one. And this is my memory. It's when we were reading Things Fall Apart.
I was literally gonna say that. I was thinking that same thing.
And Mitch, let's hear from your point of view. Give the people what they want.
What went down that class period, that infamous class period in 9th grade?
Well, basically, things fall apart. There's this guy called Okonkwo. I don't remember much of the book, but eventually, spoiler alert, skip ahead like 30 seconds if you don't want things fall apart spoiled for you. But anyways,
Probably skip more than 30 seconds.
yeah, more than 30 seconds. But basically, Okonkwo hangs himself.
The punchline.
Wow.
And so I don't remember how what the exact conversation was, but basically somehow the words hanging out.
No.
No.
Mr. Teen said, guys, just hang in there. And then Mitch, what did you say after
Yeah,
that?
Mr. Teen said, just hang in there, guys. And I was like, just like Okonkwo. And then basically after the end of that class, or
No, he sent you.
no,
the
in
hall.
it
the
was
middle of
immediately.
class,
Yeah.
yeah. I got sent to the hall, and he was like, that's not really funny. That's not something we want to joke about here. And then, years later, we talk about it again, and he was like, yeah, that was kind of funny.
I thought it was hilarious.
It was
Dude, everyone thought it was funny.
it was really fun.
That's Mitch got in trouble a couple of times in high school. The other one, so we'll talk a little bit about this trip, the Duluth trip. in May, end of our freshman year. Mitch was decided. So we went out for breakfast by the water on the lake. And Mitch decided it would be a good idea to throw rocks at seagulls.
Now, to be fair, most of the seagulls I was throwing at was like in the direction of the lake.
Most.
But there was a couple that were right back towards land, towards some runners, and I almost hit a guy in the head.
Mr. V got a little mad.
And our teacher yelled at me, and that stuck with us forever.
But you can totally understand. Like, you're just in the zone, like trying to hit seagulls with rocks, and you're like tracking one in the air, and it just flies like over your head, and you just chuck a rock at it, and you don't realize that.
Yeah, like I don't realize like
you're
where I'm throwing
at
it.
Innocent pedestrians, but
I got super tunnel vision in that moment.
Yeah, Mitch, I understand.
But it was still really
It
stupid.
was still funny and stupid.
We laugh now, but I was super, super embarrassed and super ashamed of myself in that moment.
Yeah, one thing. So our science teacher, Mr. V, he doesn't get like legitimately angry very often, and this was one of those times where you could see a little bit like he was kind of actually annoyed and like, "What the heck are you doing?" So yeah.
Yep.
But now Mr. V laughs about it with us too. This summer we all went to Duluth, and we were texting Mr. V, and we were like, "Look, we're back," and we sent like a picture of us at a place we stayed, and then Micah made some joke about like throwing rocks, and Mr. V said something about, "Let's hope he's aiming." What did he say, Mike?
He was like, was he aiming for any seagulls when he was throwing rocks at pedestrians?
I thought he said, was he aiming for any tourists?
Or something like that.
Yeah, but he made a joke about it, so no hard feelings, but it was a funny memory.
Yeah. And Mr. V was awesome. He actually was, so at our school we have advisories, and he was me and Joey's advisor. So advisory is like mixed grades. So me and Joey were in the same one. Mitch was in the Weeberdink advisory.
Yep.
Josh was in the Veenster advisory, and Evan freshman year.
Josh was in the Wheeler.
Wheeler freshman year.
I was in the Wheeler.
This is before she got married. Josh was in the Wheeler advisory, and Evan was in Mr. Veenster's advisory.
Should we start talking about IP projects?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I actually pulled up the file.
What,
so
you need to give. You can't. We gotta start.
No. I am. So
let him roll.
One thing we had to do in advisory, we'd have a certain amount of time, like 3 hours a week or something like that, to do IP presentations, which IP stands for Independent Project. So you just pick a question or a topic that you were interested in, you do some research on it, and then you'd present on it. Like freshman and sophomore years, they were pretty quick. Like you do like 3 or 4 in a year, and then once you got older, you did bigger projects, but you'd only present like once or twice. I actually was able to pull up the file. I deleted like everything from freshman year, like right after, which was really dumb. But I have my PowerPoint. One of the topics I did was time travel.
Oh, I remember.
It was legendary.
And I'm looking through this sucker, and I was way ahead of my time. I have a slide in here.
Your time, huh?
Ahead of your time, get it? Time travel.
I have a slide in here called Misconceptions About Time in Time Travel. I have a slide on time dilation, which is actually really sick. I got a slide that says problems with using a black hole to time travel. So, and that was a freshman in high school. Man.
You're smart.
Joey, is the problem with using a black hole that you die?
Actually, kind
That's
of,
a
yeah.
big problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you don't know that.
the first point is they're thousands of light years away, so that's a big problem. And the second one
Hard
is
to get to, yeah.
event horizon, which is basically once you get to a certain point, you can't get back out, so you die. So yeah, death is basically in there. But I have some research on like wormholes and stuff. Oh my goodness.
What even is time?
Well, no, we're not. We're not doing this. What did you guys do for freshman IP presentations? Does anyone remember what theirs was?
My first one ever was about internet addiction, and it wasn't that good because I remember getting like roasted. But that's kind of every freshman their first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. V just went ham on you on that one.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think you went right before me, and I was like, oh, this presentation is pretty good. And then Mr. V was just like, well, you didn't actually explain what internet addiction means. Like, what's your criteria for that? And then I was just so worried, and I thought mine went over pretty well.
Yeah.
I think my first one was on, like, youth sports or something.
I remember. You go.
No, you go, Mitch.
All right. My first one was on blue light radiation, and just the effects of that on your eyes and ways to prevent having blue light affect your eyes in a harmful way. It was a super basic topic, and I think I had like a lot of words on my slides, a whole bunch. So I got roasted for that, but I think for a freshman and my first presentation, I think I got off pretty well. I think the main thing I remember was just don't have too many words in your slides. And a lot of the criteria that you got feedback for any presentation is relatively the same for absolutely everyone. There's just like too many words in your slides, like voice dictation, and like having good looking slides too. So that was just kind of what mine was.
Yeah, I remember like all the feedback was kind of cookie cutter feedback. Like, I really liked your intro, but like there were too many words on your slides. I thought it could have used a few more visuals. I thought, it was all like that. Like, you guys should give your best impression of like the typical feedback you got on an IP presentation.
I thought you could have concluded it a little better instead of just an abrupt ending.
Yeah, that was a common one.
Yep.
I think your topic was very interesting. It would have been really improved, though, if we had some sort of, in-person visual, like something that we could pass around and look at. Okay, or
that's one
experience.
I never heard that one.
Really?
Is that is that a Weeberding thing?
That might be a Weeberding thing. That
I
was
think that's
super
a
common in mine.
thing.
Wait, what was it again, Mitch? Say it
Like having
Like
a
having a
physical
prop
representation
to
of
pass.
your...
like a prop.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah, that must be a
Another-
Weeberding thing because I remember seeing like Sophie would bring in like plants.
She brought in plants and other stuff about her projects.
We never were like even
Yeah,
suggested
no.
to do that.
It's hard to bring in a prop for time travel.
Joey brings in a
watch.
black hole.
A clock.
Yeah, Joey. That's easy.
Guys, pass around this watch and tell me the first thing you think of.
Time.
Yeah.
Drip.
Evan, what were your presentations?
I think one of my first one was fishing lures. I have no idea what my driving question was, but I don't know. Yeah. I just
yeah,
had a
that
lot
was
of
one of
slides about like each type of lure, like if it's like a crankbait or soft plastic or just like, I don't know. It was a pretty basic project. It wasn't anything special like time travel or it was super basic.
Yeah.
But my slides were good, I will say.
Juice, what about you?
I actually pulled up my Google Drive folder
Yes.
because I didn't delete everything
Shoot.
like some people.
I feel personally attacked.
You should.
Oh, don't be. I wasn't attacking you.
Oh, okay.
My very first project was on the Lewis and Clark expedition, and that one, my slides looked really nice. I think the biggest feedback I got is I was like pretty nervous at public speaking still, so I like wrote an entire script and kind of read it.
Yeah, I did that
And
too.
people don't like that.
Me
People
too.
don't like that. Yeah, that's kind of what you did for the first one, but I got attacked for that. But then my other three that year were cell phones, so I like read a Tony Reinke book on how your cell phone is changing you and kind of did a project on that. And that one, my slides were sick because I like modeled it after an iPhone home screen, like with the top bar, and they look pretty cool. I got a lot of feedback on how good my slides were.
Was that a Prezi or Google Slides?
It was Google Slides.
Okay.
Evan, you weren't in my advisor yet, so I guess you didn't see any of these.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Rip. But then my third one was on practice and like the best methods to practice and like improve at something. And that one had a bit of an experiential component. So I researched practice and like read about it, but I also put that into practice by learning a harder marimba piece. And then at my presentation, I performed that and people thought that was pretty cool. So I fulfilled Mitch's like interactive touch and see here / interactive part of the presentation.
Yeah, I remember
Then
people
my last
talking
one
about
was
that.
Well, I also like practiced during IP in this little closet on the third floor, and I think Weeberdink and like the entire school.
I
could
remember
basically
hearing you
hear me.
all the time, like every single day, just in there. It was
Yep.
it was
Shoot.
good.
People got tired of me
I didn't.
practicing, but
I'll have you know, I like that.
thanks, Mitch. Appreciate it. And then my last one was on paper airplanes, which was kind of sick.
I remember that one. I mean, I didn't see it, but I remember you doing it.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah, that
very
one was really
obsessed with
fun.
paper airplane. Was that was that year, right?
I
Yeah,
feel like it
yeah.
Yeah, because we had Eli.
We were very obsessed with
Ooh.
making paper airplanes.
Josh, you did it one. This was sophomore year though, but your music one, that IP project. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was super.
Yeah. I kind of forgot IP, but yeah, it was cool because you could just pick stuff you really liked and were passionate about and research, do a project on it.
It was cool, but we were
Yep.
also very happy to not do it anymore once we were older.
Yep.
Yeah, move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
I remember extending my map so long. Like, do you guys remember that? Like, you know the map for
Oh,
IP
yeah,
project? Like you had to map
yeah,
out.
you would like plan out.
Yeah, like
Plan
you had to
out work
plan out a
days.
schedule of like what you were gonna do each day, and I just remember like,
Oh yeah.
and Mr. Vinstra was like so lenient with that. Like he just, yeah. I remember I pushed mine out like a week one time.
I just remember the dread of seeing your date on the board
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and you being like, I am not going to get this done. Because for some reason, I just wouldn't like compute that, like, hey, I could do this at home. Like, if I spent an hour working on it at home, I'd get a lot done. And I just never did that.
I don't think I did work on IP at home sometimes, but I think I practiced at home, but never really much more than that.
It was meant to be more all in school.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of something outside of school, we got to talk about the winter dance.
Do we now?
This
Do we
was a
really?
very interesting experience, and it was a very different experience for each of us, I would say.
Yeah, very very different for each of us, and it was like all of our first like dance at the
Yeah.
high school. Freshman year, the winter dance, because there's winter dance and prom each year. Winter dance came first, obviously.
Well, it wasn't even our first dance at the high school. It was my first like school dance because I was
me
homeschooled.
too.
Oh, yeah,
Me
ever.
too. Yeah.
Like they
'Cause we
don't
didn't
have,
have those in
school
middle
dances
school.
in middle school, so yeah, it was all
Yeah,
of our
none of
first
ours.
dances. So we didn't really know what to expect. So I think was I the only one that asked a girl?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
You want to talk about that, Mike?
I think I got teased for that a little bit, along with many other things throughout the school year. But Josh was a little sad at the winter dance, which
I don't
brought
want to talk
upon the
about it.
name.
You guys can explain.
Well, let me explain.
Joey,
Because I feel
go
like
ahead.
I know Josh the best here.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke. So, it's the first year of a winter dance, so we're all a bit nervous. But I think I'm trying to remember. I think we all kind of got into it after a while. I remember standing around a lot, like the
You
first.
guys
half.
sat around that fire.
Yeah, there's like a fire pit or like a campfire thing.
Yeah, and
with,
wasn't
like,
it on the stage or
No,
something?
it was
No, that was sophomore year.
No, that was sophomore year.
it was
That-
back in the corner of the gym.
Yeah. So we
Well,
chilled there
can I
for.
set the scene a little?
Yes,
Can I
absolutely.
so the scene is our high school is in the third floor of an evangelical free church, but they don't allow dancing. So we couldn't have our dance in their gym. So our dance is in the small gym at Calvin Christian Middle School, which is just like white tile floor. But for the winter dance, we make it really special and we put this big black velvet curtain down the middle. So now it's like split into the dance floor and then the chill side. And
Very
the chill
special.
side, yeah, that was the extent of how we made it into a venue for a dance. We put that curtain down the middle. But on the chill side, there was a wrought iron fireplace that we put some logs in and then put some Christmas lights on the logs. So that was our fire. And there were some hard metal folding chairs around the fire. So this is where this is going down.
Yes. And then I think after like half an hour or so, I think we all started dancing except for one person in the group that person being Joshua Cruz, because Josh is not really into people watching him do stuff. So he just kind of hung out around the outside, kind of just watching us dance. And we took a wonderful photo of Josh, and Josh knew it was coming, so he frowned. And the image is forever known as Captain Sad, and now it's kind of a nickname for Josh.
Yeah, I'm Captain Sad.
Captain Sad. Who was it Sam that gave you that nickname?
Yeah, I think it was Sam.
Oh, R.I.P.
But I was not actually that. I wasn't like sad. It was just I didn't want to be there. I guess you could call that sad, but
I remember not wanting to go, like, because we were in student council, so we had to go. And I remember being
yeah, we had to go set up.
Being like, I do not want to go to this thing.
I wanted to go.
Was this the year I specifically learned the default dance from Fortnite?
No, that was
No,
Or is that
year.
sophomore? I think that's sophomore year. Stay tuned. Also, another thing in next episode.
Stay tuned for Fortnite in sophomore year.
That was a thing.
I feel like at
That
the
was-
beginning of it was kind of just like we were just kind of like a little awkward, just chilling there, and then but once we like got into it, it was pretty hype.
Yeah.
I think we also saw
it was-
like the seniors
Yeah,
dancing and getting into it. So I think that kind of helped. Like people we like looked up to
Yeah.
somewhat. I think helped a lot too.
I remember Jaden Scott.
I think
He was like
everyone
my
looked up
biggest
to
role model
Jaden
in high school.
Yeah.
Dragon.
because we all played sports and Jaden played sports and he was like good at sports. So I think we all looked up to him. He was just a good guy and like he was a good leader and he was a captain for basketball, right? For our freshman year
Yep.
He was a captain for everything, yeah.
and
Yep.
soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Evan didn't play soccer
And
though.
track.
And track. Wow.
Cringe.
He was captain for a lot of things. How much of an impact would you guys say that like older students had on you guys throughout? I mean, I guess mostly it'd be freshman and sophomore year. Like who did you look up to the most, and how did that like shape you to like how you wanted to act and like how you wanted to be an upperclassman?
It's a deep question.
Yeah, we're really going for it.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
I think Trocon comes to mind first.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know. He was just like chill with everyone, and he was just super nice, and he was also a good leader for soccer, especially. But he was somebody that I just kind of noticed like always doing nice things and just being nice to people, no matter who it was. And that was just kind of like doing small acts of kindness for people, no matter who it is. So yeah, that was definitely someone that I looked up to learn how to do that.
Yeah, Trocon was a good dude. I think having Jaden won on all the sports I was in, well, except baseball. But, I mean, you spent hours and hours with him, and he was in our advisory.
Yeah. Yep.
So we spent a lot of time with Jaden.
And he sat with us too.
He did sit with us.
It was us two, Jaden and Hans. So Jaden really had an impact on us in advisory too, and just the way that he treated the other students and the way he treated Mr. V too. I think was being a good role model for us to see how we could treat teachers.
Yeah, and I would say he worked really hard at sports.
Yeah.
I feel like he gave more effort than a lot of people because I feel like, well, he knew he was the leader, but also he kind of had to push our teams a lot. Our teams weren't super amazing, and he was pretty good. So he really had to do his best every night if we were going to win games. I remember for some reason, I always remember the Christian Life basketball game where he went off for like 40-some points or something, which was the previous school record, I think. And
Yep.
yeah, like we got killed because like they were all like juniors and seniors, so I could not score a point. I probably scored 2 points that game, and we lost. But he scored like 40 something, and he was super happy after the game because I don't think anyone expected us to like win or anything. The team was obviously way better than us, but Jaden still was able to have a great game.
I would say it was Jaden for me too. Like I remember one time specifically that like really made me look up to him it was before a basketball game, and like we were just chilling in the hallway, just waiting for like the game to start, and then Jaden asked, I think you were with me and Joey, to go get Subway with him. Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
It was just, I mean, it was something like super, like not even eventful at all. I just thought it was like so cool to like ride in Jaden's car and like get Subway and stuff, and just eat with him, and like it was like, this dude is awesome.
Yeah, well, do you remember the car rides to soccer practice?
Oh.
So we would have to drive like half a mile to practice or something, but we just played this one song like so loud, and we would just be headbanging in the back seat of the car, and that was so much fun. Just us little freshmen hanging out with the senior guys.
The two-door Civic.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, that class was kind of all solid, right? Because they had, well, not everyone, but the boys like Trocon, Jaden, and Matthias were all really good.
Yeah, Matthias was legendary.
And I had Matthias and Trocon in my advisory, so that was really cool. And I would say what I think Joey said about just seeing an example of how to like interact with teachers in high school was helpful for me, because you can kind of have a little more fun with teachers, I would say, in high school than in middle school, because you're a little more on the same level, intellectually at least. So just in advisory, the way they would interact with Miss Wheeler, and I don't know, just seeing them hang out with me, because high school dynamics, usually the freshmen are the annoying little like flies of the school, but they like talked to me and just helped me acclimate to high school, I guess.
Yeah. And I think Matthias really showed us how to have fun in high school. I think he always had a good attitude. He was always ready to do the next thing and just have fun. I think that was super cool to me, that like I could see that high school wasn't just all about like studying and getting good grades, but we can have fun with our friends and people in other grades, and just have fun in different areas like that. So that's something that he really showed us, I think. Someone that was all the people mentioned before were super inspirational to me too, but I think someone else that was super inspirational to me and I looked up to a lot was Jalen freshman year. So she did a lot of theater stuff. She was like head of praise team. So I really looked up to her in that area, because I had never done really theater stuff before, but I was like kind of interested in trying it my freshman year. So Jalen and Jaden was into theater too, so he was a role model for that. But Jalen actually like encouraged me to audition for Wizard of Oz my freshman year. That was the spring musical. And just the fact that she was like reaching out to me, she was a junior reaching out to a freshman saying, hey, you should audition for the musical. Like, I think you'd have a lot of fun with that. And I told her I was kind of interested. And just that encouragement from her, and then encouragement from her to audition for praise team as well freshman year was something I think really pushed me to join. And I'm super happy I did, because I did it all of high school. And yeah, to this day, Jalen is still trying to get me to join theater productions, just now at Northwestern. And
is she still?
Literally last night, she was like, hey, you should audition for Anything Goes in the spring, which is the musical they're doing in February, because there's a lot of guy parts in that, and they want to make sure they have a lot of guys auditioning. So probably won't do that, because that's like super busy season for me, video production wise. But I think it's funny just that she's still trying to encourage me to do that. So that's funny. But she was a big role model for me in those areas, as well as Jaden, because he did similar things to Jalen, because Jaden did sports and musical stuff, and then Jalen just did musical stuff. So those were probably two of the people I looked up to the most in high school, for sure.
What's interesting for me is when I think about those people is like, this freshman year was the first time I started actually having conversations with females. Like in middle school, you just did not talk to girls. But then some of the senior girls, Yo, that's a low blow, Mitch. Okay, that is, man.
Am I wrong?
That's.
He wasn't gonna say it. I was gonna say it.
Hey, Joey, you should continue with your thought, but then we should talk about the Eli prank.
Yes.
Yeah.
We need to talk about that.
Okay,
Joey, continue with your thought, then I'll explain.
Okay. I can't believe we're doing this on the second episode. Okay. But we had Caitlin and Emma in our advisory, and they actually talked to us a decent amount. And that was just like so weird for me because in middle school you just didn't talk to girls, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, you can be friends with a girl. And I was like, oh, did not know that.
The more you know. High school is so eye-opening.
It really is.
Shall I dive in?
Mitch just left.
Mitch is going to get a drink.
Oh.
Does Mitch knows the story. That's fine. We can continue. So basically, one of our friends in freshman year was named Eli Sorensen, and he loved mischief. And I don't know. What were some of the things Eli did? He would consistently like steal food from our lunches. That's one thing I remember.
Yeah, oh yeah, he would do that.
Stuff would disappear from your lunch and you'd just be like, Eli, where is it? And he'd just be like, oh, I didn't take it. Like, and then eventually he would give it back. He had kind of a high squeaky voice. That was also funny. But the prank that I think was Eli's highest moment was freshman year. It was freshman year, right, Joey?
Yeah, it was freshman.
So Eli somehow, at some point where Joey did not have his phone, went into Joey's phone and changed Joey's contact for Eli to the name Iseli Centeno. And I don't even know if there was a last name. He changed Joey's contact name to Iseli. And I don't even know how this got started, but then that night or sometime later, Eli texted Joey and started impersonating Iseli. Oh, and backstory, Iseli was in our class in 8th grade. She's great, but she didn't go to high school with us, but it was kind of well-known fact that Joey had liked Iseli in 8th grade, and so that's why this got started in the first place. But he started texting Joey, and I don't even remember the whole conversation, but eventually got to a point where Eli, as Iseli, said, but like, for real, did you used to like me? And then Joey responded with like, yeah, I did in 8th grade. And as high schoolers, that was just the funniest thing ever.
Okay, and before you go on, you should remember that right above that text, that first text she sent, was a picture of like a sleeping bag that Eli had texted Joey. So I don't know how he missed that.
Yeah. Can I just
Joey
jump
just
into the
failed to
moment?
notice the above. Yeah.
I have the phone. I have the screenshots right
Okay.
here.
You can read those in a second. But I remember thinking like something was weird about that, or like I don't think I had a phone like texting conversation with Iseli. I think that was all over like GChat or whatever. So I'm like, I don't even think I have her number. I should really like scroll up and like look. And for some reason, I didn't do it, and I can't believe it. And it's a decision
against
I
your
regret.
better judgment.
Every
against
day.
your better judgment.
Okay,
Every day, remember.
Evan, you want to read
Evan
off the
and
screenshot?
Joey. No, can we like get a dual read off, like where Joey you take your parts and Evan impersonates Iseli?
Sure.
Or are your mics not close enough?
I think we can.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, I gotta figure out if this is the first one. Or...
I
This
remember
is like
I
a
have
reader's
huge-
theater. I'm so excited.
Well, maybe I still even have the chats. That would be crazy.
If they've transferred like 3 phones.
They might have.
There's no way.
Nope, I have no
Wait,
conversation.
I thought Evan had the screenshot.
Yeah, I have it right here. So this screenshot, I think there's out of order. Just one second. Okay, I got it. All right, so the text above, like before Eli changed the contact, says my sleeping bag inside. That's the text above. That's the last text Eli sent.
So funny.
So then, all right, let's see. Joey, do you want to read these?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll be Eli, okay? Or Iseli. It says, hey, Joey, I'm sorry I have not talked to you for a while. Why did you leave early today? Best wishes, Ice. Right back when you get time. Thanks.
Oh my goodness. And then I said had to go whoop some kids in baseball.
How did you do?
Easy dub.
That's pretty cool. So how's school going for you?
Pretty all right. How is homeschool?
I finished a week ago.
Nice. How much did you pay your mom to let you out early?
Not as much as you might think, with like a sly face emoji.
Oh my gosh.
This is the most like two ninth graders who like each other conversation I've ever heard.
And then I think the one
Eli
about
did
that.
a solid job of impersonation, honestly.
Can I ask you a question?
Anything. Shoot.
Now, be honest. Did you ever like me, even a little?
I said, yeah, for a little while in like 8th grade.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then I said, okay, ...
Well, I have to go. We can talk again. Let's make it a little sooner. Bye.
That's what I think I got on.
That ending. Let's make it a little sooner. Oh.
It's probably not that funny, like when you like listen to it, but like in the moment,
I
that was
think
just
it's funny.
the funniest
I think
thing
it's
That's
funny.
ever.
hilarious.
Hey,
But
what
no,
can I say?
Do we have
Eli
the
makes
rest of
a
the
good-
screenshots?
What?
Like because didn't Joey like say like write something in all caps like when he figured it out? Or
Oh,
do we not
yeah.
have those?
Yeah, I definitely did say something after I found
All I
it.
have is those screenshots. I don't have anything other than that.
But yeah, Joey like figured it out and then like was kind of angry, and Eli was like all caps, "Oh, get pranked."
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. I thought it was pretty legendary.
That was.
Yeah, and then you guys just kept bringing it up over and over again. I was
You
like,
bring that up so much. It's actually so funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was good. Okay, guys, I have a document pulled up called High School Trends and Memes. I don't know if any of you guys
I
pulled
forgot
this
about
up,
this.
but I thought this would be like gold because basically in freshman year, we started a Google Doc for each year that has 3 columns. First, our memes and trends, so like personal things, then like videos that were kind of funny and that we watched a lot, and then
exactly
world
what they are.
memes and trends. What?
I know exactly what the videos are.
Oh yeah, the videos won't make a lot of sense, but we can look at our memes and trends. And the first one on freshman year is GeoGuessr.
oh
I
my
just thought we should
goodness.
talk about that.
Means you grinded it pretty hard, right?
Yeah, like IP class or like study hall.
Yeah, so you know how we talked about independent projects earlier. For some people, that was called like independent gaming, where you don't do work and you just play games on your Chromebook.
That was me.
Yep. I would do like
Cool
work
math
for
games.
like 20, 30 minutes and then or it was multitasking where I would have GeoGuessr and then I would like put it in a different window and then you would alt tab to a different window.
Dude, everyone was alt-tab experts in IP.
So yeah, GeoGuessr was one of those games that I would alt tab from between my presentation. And yeah, I would grind that thing so much.
I think we
But
all played.
we all kind of did. Like
Yeah.
it caught on, and like before classes, we would just all be playing GeoGuessr. Before school, we would all be playing GeoGuessr.
Yeah, we would
It was just
send
the
each other
thing.
like challenge maps, or like all challenge each other to like a world something to the world map, and like see who got the most points. It was a great time.
And it's just a fun game, honestly.
Yeah, too bad you got to pay for it now.
Really, it's
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah, you have to pay
Shoot.
for like the free version or what?
What?
Pay for the
You
old
should
free
be
version.
Paying for.
What it used
Okay.
to be.
This is really funny because at dinner, I'm in Dort, obviously. At dinner, Sam pulled up on his phone GeoGuessr, and like we played a few rounds, and then it was like you have 3 free rounds left. And I was like, oh, you gotta pay. So I actually learned that today, and now we're talking about it again, which is strange. But
Yeah.
when it was free, it was legendary. It's a good game. Speaking of games, Toss the Turtle and 2048 are next on the list.
I totally forgot about Toss the
Sam
Turtle.
showed me Toss a Turtle, and I think I beat the game like twice in the same year. 'Cause Toss a Turtle is such a good game.
Yeah.
I might
I
download that
also
right
beat
now.
the game on my iPad. It's literally just you shoot a turtle out of cannon, and then he just like flies through space. I don't even remember. What do you do?
I think you
shoot the
like
cannon.
shot it, and like the further you shot it, like the more rewards you got, and with those rewards, you got like a better like shot or like some like you got a better something that shot the turtle farther into like different areas of the map.
I'm downloading it right now.
I literally am too.
Guys, we're gonna be grinding this tonight.
Guys, I don't think my college schedule allows for the time to beat Toss the Turtle again.
That's
Make
bad.
time.
You're right, I will. Downloading. Well, we were all super into that. And then 2048, I think, was another independent projects game. That was a pretty easy alt tab. But it was a little harder to get away with because it was pretty obvious when your fingers were like on the arrow keys and just like tapping. So I think teachers caught on. So then you just had to like take a break for a while and actually work or play GeoGuessr too.
That was also like an extension one. Like you could just go to like the top right of a Google Chrome browser and just do it from there, and then just click off.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Smaller window.
One game we played in, I don't know if you played, Joey, but in journalism,
Oh my no.
me, Caleb Swenson, Ilya, Youngchuk, and then one of my cousins played Fortnite mobile during class.
yeah.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Journalism. Wait,
It was such a laid back class, and like I don't think she ever knew because we were just all on the side of the classroom, like with our computers in our hands, like we're holding our phones.
wait, weren't all of us in journalism sophomore year except for Josh?
I was not.
I think.
I think so.
I remember
was.
they made it way more strict sophomore year.
Yeah, like I joined journalism because you guys are all saying like it's the easiest
Same.
class ever. I
Yeah.
do absolutely nothing the entire time, and then I was like, all right, easy credits. And then I get in there and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make you start. You guys do more stuff this year.
Yeah.
I was like, crap.
But that first year was like legendary.
Yeah, I remember just sitting there and you guys would just like nod at each other and like, you'd break out your phones and start playing Fortnite mobile.
It's just like a common understanding, like, okay, it's time.
Yeah.
Playing.
And it was at the end of the
remember
day
being kind
too.
of-
Oh yeah, it was.
It was the last class of the day, so it was just
yeah.
everyone was just ready to be done.
I would always come back from band and like you guys would have all these stories about things you did in journalism. Let's see. Next on the high school trends and memes page is the phrases "come at my head top," "naughty," "no," and then everything Jace said. So someone talk about Jace.
No, the funny thing is about going through that list is I think all of those things came from Jace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Top was so
that was
Jace.
all one bullet point. That
Yeah.
was just those phrases and everything else Jace said.
Yeah, so Jace was a kid in our class. He was Shield, so his dad was the principal of the elementary and middle school. But we had so much fun with him in class because he just come up with the funny stuff. I'd hate to know how many times me and Jace would just look at each other and start dying laughing in the back of classes. I'm shocked we didn't get kicked out more, but everything he said was just like different and really funny. So
Yeah.
we kind of just like started saying whatever he said. So
Yeah, he would just come up with original phrases that came from absolutely nowhere, and then it just became high school memes, and everyone would start saying them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of us weren't original and like would quote videos, but he would just come up with the funniest stuff.
Was okay. I just thought of something random with Jace. Was he one of the ones that was like? Was he in your tent in Arkansas, Joey, when you had to like
no,
all use one sleeping bag or
He
something?
was in my tent.
He was at Evan's tent. That's what it was.
we should talk about Arkansas.
We'll
Yeah.
get there.
No, let's
No,
let's
we
talk
gotta
about it.
talk about it now.
Wait, so Evan, what was the experience in the
No,
tent?
someone's gotta explain Arkansas first before.
Okay.
Who wants
So
to intro
Ar-
Arkansas?
Arkansas was the freshmen and sophomores spring trip. So it was like April. So it was like still a little cold, especially down in Arkansas. But we were canoeing. But not only was it like cold, it was also kind of rainy. So we were canoeing down the Buffalo River in Arkansas. We canoed for 2 days. We slept 2 nights. We canoed 3 days and we slept 2 nights. And it took a 14-hour bus ride there and then a 14-hour bus ride back, which was a whole nother experience that we could talk about too. But the trip was I had fun. A lot of people like didn't, but I honestly enjoyed it.
It was sick.
I think, the thing that was rough for me is, so the first day was just gorgeous. And then the next day, I think it rained pretty much the whole day.
'Cause you were sick, right?
And then I got so sick. So the person in my tent that was right next to me was Ben. And he said multiple times in the night, I just sneezed right in his face. Because we had 4 people in one tent. So we were packed in there pretty tight. And then
they were not big tents either.
Yeah. And I was facing him and he was facing me. And I was just so sick. I remember not stealing, but I took a roll of toilet paper, and that was just constantly in my pocket of my rain jacket, and I was just like blowing my nose like every couple of minutes. Yep. So it was really rough for me. There's a great picture that we have of me at the end, and my nose is just rubbed raw. It's just all red.
I was just gonna bring that up. I'm looking at the picture now because I found it in my camera roll, and it was just Joey at the end of the trip, and he was sick, and he's like trying to smile, but he looks a little out of it, and his nose red.
Yeah, because we were all like sleep deprived, cold, and wet, so it was a really good combination. But I had Liz for my partner in the canoe, and she was actually super good, so that made it a lot better because I didn't have to do much in terms of like navigating the canoe much.
You didn't have to carry.
I had Adele, so that was just like a fun time. We stayed in the back with, I think, Annika and Olivia, and we just like sung Disney songs and like Queen songs, like Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff. So that was a good time. There was one point where we ran into a fallen over tree or a rock or something, and our boat tipped a little bit and water started rushing in. So that was fun, but our stuff didn't get too wet, which was good.
Fun fact, this is really random and I've never told. I don't know if anyone knows this, but one of the days I was way in the back with you guys pretending to like hang out with Adele, and I was literally just checking Mandy out the whole time.
No way.
So
wow.
Fun fact. So
Wait, who was Mandy with?
I don't even remember.
Who's Mandy?
Oh, that's my fiance.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
yo. We'll intro
she
that. We'll talk about that next episode.
Yeah.
Sophomore year.
Yeah. Was she with Noah, or was Noah with Mr. V?
No, I honestly have no memory.
I don't remember who anyone was with.
I don't know. I know she was in the back of her canoe, but yeah, I was just pretending to like hang out with Mike and Adele, and I was just flirting with Mandy the whole time.
Solid.
Nice.
One of the things about the Arkansas trip, like it went like 3 stages for me for like how I experienced it. So that first day was like super warm. It was sunny. It was really good, and then there was obviously like the 2 rain days. Everyone was cold, miserable, sick, and like there was a few people that were like having depressive thoughts, and it was like going back on the bus ride. It was like they made it think like it was the worst trip ever. And so I thought that for a very long time. I was like, yeah, that was actually kind of quite miserable.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, well, outside of those people, like, and it was an uncomfortable time. But honestly, it wasn't that bad of a trip. I had a lot of fun. And part of that for me, especially, was I got, there was a kayak, because we had like an odd amount of people. And so we had a bunch of canoes and like 1 or 2 kayaks. And so that the kayak privileges got passed around through the 2 grades. And so I eventually, Mr. V for some reason just stuck with me for like the last like a day and a half. But it was like moving around a bunch. But that was one of the things that like I didn't have to worry about who I was with. But yeah, like Arkansas, it was such an up and down and then back up again kind of experience for me.
Yeah, I can agree with you, Mitch. Like, kind of like those, like, I kind of thought the same as you did. And then, like, when I look back on it, I was like, oh, yeah, that was actually fun. But, like, I can agree. Like, the first day was, like, super fun. It was sunny and stuff. And then the second day was, I mean, it was still fun, but it was just rainy and cloudy and cold. And then the third day was the same thing. And I remember, like, kind of looking forward to, like, getting on the bus, like, after that was done.
Who was your partner? Who did you go with?
Madeline Anderson.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was all right. It wasn't terrible.
Josh, who are you with?
I was with Connor Distad, and it was actually, I think I got put with him because we all had to like rate our comfortability with canoeing, and he had never canoed before, so he like rated himself really low. Like, I have no idea how to do this. And I like boated quite a bit, so I was like higher up. And then Mr. V paired people, so I got put with him, but I was just in the back so I could steer. And Connor was like, he's obviously a guy and he was strong, so he could paddle super well and caught on really quick. So we were usually near the front and like kind of following right behind Mr. V and Veenstra. But I remember one day we like kind of stayed back in the back with Mike, and that was really near the end. And I'm like, shoot, we should have done this more, because it was just kind of a party with him and Adele screaming Disney songs. It was kind of funny, but
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. It was not just flirting with Mandy. Adele was just hilarious.
But honestly, I feel like the bus ride was almost as like memorable as some of the canoe rides. Okay, so on the memes and trends page, towards the bottom of the first column with our memes and trends, there's just, you can tell it was right after we went on the Arkansas trip. There's like 4 bullet points from the Arkansas trip. The first is, there's the Buffalo River / Arkansas. And I think we were on the bus, and any body of water we saw, like even if it was like a drinking trough for cows, we would be like, there's the Buffalo River, guys. Like, we're here. And
we were so sick of being on the bus.
Yeah, it was such a long ride, and we were just joking around and like, oh, there it is. There's the water. And yeah, the second point, all it says is Mr. Veenstra.
What?
He's just a funny guy, I think. We just thought he was funny. He was on the trip because he was the bus driver. And do you guys remember the bus
Yep.
Yeah.
on that trip?
I remember it like struggling up like one hill so bad that
Yeah, it was going like 15
oh,
miles an
we'd
hour.
go like 80 down the hill, and I think we got to the point where we were going like 20 or 15 miles an hour once we reached the top of the hill, because we had a huge trailer with all our stuff in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was
Missouri
a really
was
heavy.
crazy. That's where all the hills were.
Yeah, it was in Missouri. Yeah, it was like in the
this
middle.
brings me to my next point. The next bullet point is, Missouri is a fake place created by Satan to drive man to insanity and over many hills. So yeah, Missouri was where all the hills were, and where the bus almost broke down.
Yep.
On many of those hills.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of like Mr. Veenstra and the bus, I remember I have one like core memory of Mr. Veenstra and the bus. Okay, it's basketball season, freshman year. Mr. Veenstra's driving. Okay, and we're going to like, I think it was, I don't know what game. It was a far away game, and I was in the back with like Connor Bartz, and Alex Maybaum's mom was behind the bus with sandwiches, and then. Do you guys remember the story?
No, you know why?
This was 8th grade.
You know why? Yeah, this
Was this 8th grade?
This is 8th grade, because we
Really?
never went to school with Connor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But it's
But
still
you
a
should
great
tell the
story.
You should tell the
Please
story.
continue.
And okay, I'm trying to remember. And it was like, and Connor had been talking with like Alex Maybaum's mom for like trying to get like the sandwiches and stuff, because like I don't know if they were gonna like follow us all the way there or not, but yeah, they needed to eat, and it was a stoplight, and Connor asked Mr. Veenstra, "Can I open the door, like the emergency door in the back of the bus, and get the sandwiches?" And he like strictly says, "No, do not open the door." And then a couple seconds later, the light's still red. Connor just gets up, opens the door, gets his sandwiches, hops back in, and Mr. Veentra's just like super mad, just like you can see it in his
Like,
eyes,
his
just
face was
flaring mad.
His face was red.
Yeah, and then at the like when we got to the game, he like had a talking with Connor after that, and like he suspended Connor for 1/4 of a JV game.
A JV game.
Of a JV game, suspended him for 1/4 of it.
Wow.
It's like the first like 7 minutes.
Yeah, I just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
That's hilarious. So you
I
guys
think-
played basketball in 8th grade at the high school, right?
I just played
Yeah, we
one
played
game.
like 2 or 3. I think 2 or 3 we like went along with.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was at Learning for Leadership. I just remember the gym.
Yep. I think that was also the game where Brad got a technical or got ejected.
Really? He got kicked out?
I don't think he got to kick. It might have just been a technical,
What did he do?
but I don't know. He was learning for leadership. Anything could happen.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Fun fact, Learning for Leadership was a school that it was not our rival school, but we just hated playing them because they were not the nicest people. But I think after our sophomore or junior year, their school got shut down because it was determined that they were not teaching kids. So, yeah, their like test scores and stuff weren't high enough. So then we didn't have to play them anymore. But we're pretty sure all the kids from Learning for Leadership just went to a school called Metro. So then Metro became a school that was not fun to play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Little side note. What was the school that had a stabbing?
Oh, Community of Peace.
That was
Community
it.
Peace.
That was, what year was that?
That was
think
sophomore,
that was-
junior year.
Yeah, that was middle.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
That was in between.
It was in the papers. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Stabbing at Community of
and then
Peace.
we had a
Stabbing.
game there like 5 days later
It
or
was the-
something.
Yeah.
It was like really soon after.
Yeah.
And we made so many bad jokes.
Well, we made
We
jokes
just
about
every
that.
time we saw one, like, are you going to stab me?
Well, we made jokes about them, and then the Choffers, Christ Household of Faith.
Yep.
I should have just said it
we
once.
should talk about them another time because we didn't actually play them freshman year.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Choffers is a good topic for another podcast.
Yeah.
Should we finish off with the last bit of the Arkansas trip? A few more
Yes.
memories. Well, I have the last point on the memes and trends page, which is Iowa doesn't exist. It's all just a government simulation.
Which is very ironic because Josh claims that he's in Iowa right now, but I'm not sure if he's telling the truth.
Yeah, no comment on that.
Mm,
I just
sus.
we drove through Iowa on the way to Arkansas, obviously, and we just for some reason my class was very anti-Iowa. Actually, it was mainly just Samuel Durfus. He was very anti-Iowa.
I got to give him some credit. I feel like it's kind of hard to be pro Iowa. I feel like you're kind of just like Iowa. Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys can be neutral Iowa, but it was more just like anti-Iowa.
Yeah.
Like Iowa's stupid. And yeah, it got to the point where Iowa doesn't exist.
Well, did we go to Pizza Ranch after the Arkansas trip? Was
Yep.
that
That was the
trip?
climax.
Yeah. And then we did shots of Tabasco, right?
That was the that was the Pizza Ranch cult
yeah.
That was the initiation.
initiation.
For the boys.
Oh my.
And
Fun
we-
fact, I was the only member not initiated.
Yep.
Well, I didn't want to have any because I didn't want to have any Tabasco sauce. And then I went to the bathroom and came back and took a sip of my water.
Oh yeah.
And you guys had
Put it-
put a little bit of Tabasco sauce in my straw.
Yeah, we put it in your straw.
So when I sipped the water, it was spicy, and I was like, "What?"
That's so funny.
That was part of their messing with me. That happened a lot that year. But it was partially my fault too, because I don't think I sat with you guys on the bus most of the time. I think I sat
You were with girls.
with a couple of girls. I sat with you guys right away. I remember I think I sat with Jace for the first half of the ride there, and then I moved to the middle of the bus with them, and then the whole ride back I was with them as well. So
I'm sure we made so much fun of you.
I'm sure you
I
did.
think
Yeah.
we did.
I
I
just
think we
don't.
really did.
Yeah,
Guys, fun fact, Micah wasn't like our friend freshman year.
yeah.
Yep.
I would hang out with them or sit at lunch with you guys or in class, but I wasn't invited to outside things or I wouldn't engage as much as I should have too.
Josh, did I ride with you?
Yep. Well, I think it was kind of you, me, and Evan were on the same spot because I have pictures of you in the bus sleeping across the aisle from me. I took
Yeah.
many pictures of you.
Yeah, I have a picture
So
of
I
Joey
know you
sleeping
weren't always
too.
with me.
I'm kind of concerned about how many pictures there are floating around of me sleeping in your guys' phones because there's a lot.
I don't think it's a
With your camel
problem.
pillow.
Yeah, it's iconic pictures, honestly.
Yep.
That is true.
I took a picture
But-
of Joey sleeping because he was doing that thing that he did when we went to the camping with the boys, you know? He was
Yeah.
nodding off and then his head would bang the window. And then he'd
Yeah.
still be zonked out and would sit up and still his eyes closed, and he would just drift off, bang the window. And then it was just I don't know. And I was next to him, so he'd hit my shoulder too. Sometimes just rest on my shoulder for a couple seconds. And I was just oh, I don't really want to move right now. But
Yeah, and I think when I got back from that trip, I think my family turned around and went to Nebraska or something for a baseball tournament. So I was just in the bus for 12 hours straight, and then I just turned around and was in the car ride for 4 more hours or something. That was not the funnest day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Do you guys remember one last thing from the bus? It was a creation that was made.
Boy.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. So one of our finest, I would say, like, lasting legacy products from freshman year is a song called Boy. And I created it on the GarageBand app on the bus on the way back from Arkansas. And there's a whole music video online. You can probably find it if you look hard enough. It's really good. I promise.
Yep.
So yeah, the Boy song is another lasting relic from the Arkansas trip. But I think we're going to make that a wrap on our freshman year of high school.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoyed talking about it, hearing some of your guys' thoughts, reliving some fun memories. Good time was had by all, and look forward to talking through the sophomore year next time on the podcast. But for now, we will see you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.
Peace out, gangsters.